And so I've done a lot of, if you want to say like Delulu things, where it's like a lot of people would say, wait, like, aren't you terrified of doing that? Like the app was super scary, very different from anything I've ever done. But I was like, I trust this feeling. And when I know, I'm like, yep, let's do it.
I'm here today with Natasha Zoryk, who's a 3-time founder and self-made millionaire. She's on a mission to help female founders scale their brand, profit their potential, and master their minds in the most audacious way possible.
It is so lovely to have you here right now. Tell me a little bit about your style and your outfit.
Yeah, well, I do love a good sleek black moment for sure. Flowy is always nice. Love a good Aritzia too.
Ooh.
Beige, neutral, so definitely fit the vibe here. If it's not this, it's like athleisure, like Pilates mom.
Yeah,
That's definitely the vibe. Love a good pointy shoe.
Is that a Rolex watch?
No. No, it's not. No. Oh, thank you.
Where is it from?
Where did I get it from? I actually don't recall, but it's not Rolex.
Okay.
Yeah. No, these actually Amazon. Love a good Amazon moment. Those are good.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do share a lot of Amazon outfits.
Yeah, I do. I have good dresses.
Really good stuff.
Yeah, they do have the Amazon storefront. So.
Yeah. Well, Natasha, like, first of all, like, I am obsessed with your brand. Like, when you land on Natasha's website, the first moment when I see your, like, you have like a B-roll, like, you know, like of content, shooting content in a studio, and I'm just like, oh my
Actually
gosh,
filmed that right on the street. Yeah, it was right here. Extra cafe. Yeah.
I was like, does she have like a modeling agency? Like,
I hire creative agency, so I have a creative team and people who specialize in B-roll, Super 8.
Yeah.
So different like digital film, actual film, and so we combine all that together.
I love that.
Yeah, and I think that's from the designing days. It's like I really know the aesthetics and the importance of a brand, and it comes down to visuals, and I know you get it too. So I really have fun with that.
Appreciate you. Yeah. First of all, like, share with the audience here, like, you've come through an incredible story. Like, you were 30K in debt, and now you're running a multiple 7-figure business. You've come from working for the government to website designing to running an agency to business coaching, and now you have a tech company. Like, how did this whole Natasha started?
Yeah, it all starts, so government in Ottawa, it's like the Ottawa dream to have a government job, right?
Yeah.
It's such a safe, calm city. And so first year university, I took comms and business. I landed a government job, which was, I'm so grateful for that. And it was in the communication and marketing sector. And so I learned, like, I managed some of the biggest promotional campaigns in Canada. And I learned a ton, and in web design and down to marketing. And it all started then when my friend Jen, who owns a really successful clinic, which I'm so grateful for her, still friends with her to this day, she saw my website that I was trying to make like a professional resume. So I made like a personal website. She's like, wait, can you make mine for my clinic? I was like, sure. And so it was like such a nothing, like, whatever favor. I had so much fun doing mine. I did it for free. A business, like, asking for money at that, I was like, yeah, like, potato, of course I'll do it. And so it launched, and she had like a little over 10K followers. Oh my God, overnight, like, inquiries and, hey babe, can you make my website for my lash company, for this beauty industry, for this clinic? And so overnight I was like, I guess I have a business. And so I switched it, and that's how NZ Designing came about, and it was such a success because of referrals. And I definitely think having such a strong starting point with Jen, people really, really looked up to her in the beauty industry, and that was the main one that I really designed for because of that. And I was booked out for 3 months, and my first month I hit 10K, second 10K, third 10K, mind-blowing. I couldn't believe it. And then I just went all in. 3 months in, I switched it, turned it into an agency. Left my government job because I signed, actually, I just graduated university. And I signed which is incredible as a 21-year-old. I signed a $61,000 salary contract, and I cried. I was like, I should be happy, but I'm so sad. But I let that go 3 months into my business, and yeah, it like blew up. everything was such a success. I think I really caught a good wave of 2019. That was like all the rave. It really started, I found like Instagram marketing in 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah, things really took off. COVID actually really helped my business too. Everyone was trying to be online. So designing, to be a designer at that time, oh my gosh, inquiries were like up. And then, yeah, I transitioned into business mentoring, speaking. That's been like such a pillar for a few years, 7 figures. And now I have my tech company, Azura, which is a communication. And so it's been such a whirlwind. But yeah, it all started with a simple favor. Yeah.
So how did you even grow into this entrepreneurship mindset?
Yeah.
Because it could have just been a side hustle while growing your government career because you just started. And then after you're like, oh, I'm going to just leave. Like, you know, was there any like backlash, any criticism from your support group?
Yeah, for sure. It was an abrupt switch. I've definitely been known, like my dad always says, love you, Terrence, love him so much. He's always like, I tell Natasha to go left, she's going right. And so he was like, you got to get your master's. You have to, you know, really climb that corporate ladder. He actually is an entrepreneur as well. And ironically, his first company ever was a marketing agency. And so we didn't converse on it really, but, and he's had a few cybersecurity companies as well. I definitely think it was a moment of, and I think there's so much power in feeling disconnected, discomfort, not happy with where your path is going. So it was the feeling of knowing what I didn't want that like threw me into this new journey of entrepreneurship, because I knew I felt so defeated in the government. I couldn't put my finger on it. I remember, I don't know if you heard about the pay issue Phoenix at the time, like we were not getting paid. They owed me like over 10K. It was catastrophic debt. Like I lived alone. It was really hard because I think it was like 4 paychecks in a row I didn't get.
Wow.
And that was a defining factor because, yeah, I was sitting there and I was like, but this is so stable. This is so stable. How can I leave the security? It's all I've known. I don't have anyone around me to like look at for a role model. I was not immersed into entrepreneurship. My friends did always say like, you're going to be a CEO one day. And I never really understood. I was like, okay, I don't get that. But yeah, I think it was definitely just the feeling of, I know I don't want to be here. And then, yeah, turning that favor and getting a taste of a completely different lifestyle. And actually, I twisted my ankle and I had a month of teleworking and I just started my business. And I was like, I was such a baby, 21. I didn't really have these like crazy goals or ideas of like what it could be. Cause again, I didn't have tangible examples online or in real life. But I twisted my ankle, and so I made it this goal, and I got a taste of what it felt like to work from home. I was like, I'm never stepping foot in that office again. So 2 weeks before I was supposed to go back, I sent in my resignation letter, and it was that was a catalyst moment for me.
Yeah.
It was like a do or die almost.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but I made it feel that way, and I'm so grateful. And so I think it was kind of like one random situation fell into the next and all perfectly mended together. And I just felt so happy and aligned and alive after like, I'd say about 2 years of being like, whoa, dragging my feet in the government job.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it. I think I just threw myself into it and was like, let's hope for the best. And it really worked out amazing. And it was, I think the biggest thing in the backbone of my business has been fun, relationships, and laughter. And so I think that was a really strong pillar of why I really like dove into the unknown.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that stage of time when you were diving into this website design business, like going all in on it, was there any fear?
Oh, for sure. I think because I didn't have the feeling of having everything in order, I have to hit 7 figures the first year. I didn't have these massive goals from the beginning. I was like, I'm going to test things out. And I truly, truly, deeply believe that failure is like the most incredible lesson. And in the moment when you're feeling scared or things are going wrong or the path that you initially planned is completely going off that path, trust it, something's going to happen. So I think because I led with that, it was really, really important. When I launched my first digital product, the Instagram kit, I thought the red carpet was, I thought Instagram was gonna stop. Everyone's gonna be like, she's launching, boom, sales, you know what I mean? I was like, yep, it's gonna be a huge success. No one bought, like no one. But I was like, okay, slay, love that. I'm like, what can we learn? I took a few months. I came out with passive profits, all this stuff, had a $54,000 launch and did tons of sales psychology. And it was from that initial quote unquote failure where I really learned. And so through fears, if I felt this initial fear, I would really lean into it. And again, like I would ask myself, how can I have fun here? How can I take this and mold it into something so much bigger and better and exciting? And so I've done a lot of, if you want to say like Delulu things, where it's like a lot of people would say, wait, like, aren't you terrified of doing that? Like the app was super scary, very different from anything I've ever done. Yeah. But I was like, I trust this feeling. And when I know, I'm like, yep, let's do it. I'm very, and in psychology, I'm a driver buyer. Like I have this very strong-headed, like if I have that feeling, I'm going in and I'm really going to make it work. And if it doesn't end up working the way I thought, it was for the best. And so yeah, like fear is a funny thing, or failure for me. Like I for sure have felt it in moments of anxiety, but I, as cliche as it sounds, like feel that fear and like really do it anyways. And I've led with that. Yeah. And I've really said over the years, like my mindset around that, I do think has been, and from working in mentorship and like thousands of women, I do think that mentality has been a huge saving grace through like, the ebbs and flows of that, of entrepreneurship. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely relate with that. Like when I first started as well, I launched an Instagram course for $33 and had a few people buy, but I'm like, I don't know where this is going. I just want to like quit my job. It was the height of the pandemic and I wanted to move to Mexico. I wanted to become a digital nomad. I wanted to help more women at that mindset at that time travel to build their own business. So very, very similar to what you've done in the past as well. And then I've realized in 2020, especially with the height of pandemic, everyone wanted to, run away from like corporate and start their own thing. So there was a lot of like hype with coaching at that time as well. Because people were like saying, oh my God, I can be an online coach. I can like work remote and all of that. But that has shifted in the last few years.
Yes.
And now with like Meta coming out and now you have to pay to get your content getting seen, like, how do you feel about that?
No, I know. I've really noticed, especially now being in the business mentorship space, a massive shift. A dream was sold by a lot of people from 2017 to 2021.
Yeah.
And when the world opened up and people said, oh, like, I actually can't be glued to my computer 24/7, or this takes so much emotional capacity. I actually have a podcast on that, the 15 truths or hard truths of being a business mentor, because I think people love to sell the glamour, and yes, there is so much within that. But yeah, I think it's healthy. I think it's real. I think it's honest for people to show, just like any career path, the truths behind it. So yeah, my thoughts are that's good, because if people just sold that digital nomad life was all the craze, like from 2017 to 2019, and a little bit, but it started to go down in different trends. But I think overall, I think it's healthy that people are opening their eyes to what it actually takes, the emotional capacity. Not everyone can be a business owner, but not everyone can be a business mentor or a true CEO to run a team and be like in that leadership role. That requires a lot of accountability, a lot of growth. Mindset work. Like we got into entrepreneurship, but like we didn't know we were getting into like this intense, deep self-development. It's like, oh, didn't know that about myself, right? And so, I think with the shifts, it's natural, it's normal. I think they move really quick in our space. So sometimes it's like, I just caught my breath. You're like, dang. But I think it's good. I think it's awesome. I love to hear the duality of any niche,
Where do you especially in 2024 right now, like what industries do you find that are going to be really super successful in the online space?
Tech space, for sure. There's been quite a few. Henaniev's, love her so much. She just built a tech company. I know a few other women that are really stepping into and diversifying their income.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, which it's funny, like, all the rave because of COVID was online, online, online. There's a lot of in-person success that I'm noticing. People are really now craving that true connection, more intimate connection. A lot of success with that.
Yeah.
I think as well, the creative space too. I think that will always have just such an amazing success as a whole. I think business mentorship is really going to get tested, and coaching for sure. But I think those definitely are the big pillars, still online with the tech and in person.
Okay. Tell me, so obviously you launched your tech company a few months ago now, and it's been really, really successful. How did you even fund for this company? Like, did you have some sort of like sugar dad to help you out, or was there some sort of
my Montreal days? I had you caught me. No. That's so funny. No, completely 100% myself, fully.
Wow.
So I'm very thankful. I was very smart with my money. So I did absolutely hit a ton of success in the beginning, like 6 figures the first year in my digital marketing and design agency, then multiple 6 figures. Every year, it has been a massive, massive jump. Like one year was over 1,000%. That's when I got into mentorship. And in 2022, 2023, like 7 figures a year. And so what I've done, I was very strategic. One, with my accountant, he's actually in Montreal, love him so much. Ben is the best. Saving grace. And I got a financial advisor, an investor, and I took all my money and I invested it. And so in high risk, low risk, and I think, and this is one thing I'm very passionate about too in this space, especially being a business mentor and really leading with ethics. They love to talk about making money, but not saving and being super strategic and, building roots. And so I will say I was very, very smart with my finances. I wasn't out blowing all this money. I kept a good stash, and 2023 was my best year yet. I worked with some of the most amazing women and founders, and so that set me up for a ton of success. Like I still have tons of recurring payments from 2023 to this moment.
Wow.
So much so that I was able to take 4 months off in Q4 and just fully work on Azura, the app, and still remain like a really good, comfortable base. And so I completely funded the app myself. No sugar daddy. I'll take applications, but no sugar daddy. And I didn't touch my investments as well too. It was straight from recurring income from my mentorship and speaking career, and I'm very thankful and blessed for that. Fully self-funded. And I did find an amazing team too. I think some people I don't know about you, but when I first started, I actually thought like minimum an app costed like $1 million. I was like, I thought that to build a tech company, it was like you really got to put so much in. It was definitely over 6 figures, that's for sure. But self-funded and an amazing team. I was really, really, really picky with who I decided to work with.
Tell me a little bit about the concept and the brand that you've put together with the app, because it's a lifestyle. Like I saw the content when you're on both of your website, like your personal website and your app website. Like it's gorgeous. Like I love how you like label the coffee cups down to like the bags. It's a full concept that you've created, because you want people to envision themselves, holding the app and they're on the go. They're in a restaurant, in a cocktail bar. Like I saw like the cocktails, and like it's just very much like a lifestyle that you're creating for someone. And tell me a little bit more about how you did it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating again because I was a designer before. So I'm so blessed for that. Like, and I work with so many designers too. Like the creative space has such a special place in my heart. But I know the importance of a brand. Oh, and so, and in this coaching space, I think a lot of people will push that aesthetics and all that don't matter. Oh my God, they do. And so with Azura, I knew it was like what you call white space. Like there was not one problem, multiple problems with the communication apps like Slack, Voxer, right?
Yeah.
No tea, no shade, but the orange robot, I'm like, I can't do it any longer, It just was, I'm like, if I hear that walkie-talkie sound,
oh God.
Yeah, I'm like, and being with females, I'm like, we want sexy, we want sleek, we're all about the vibes, and like where we deliver these like beautiful and expensive services to the clients. We work so hard on our systems, on our brand, and then when where we actually deliver the service in these communication apps, couldn't clash more with our brands even if we tried. But with Azura, so my main goal was like, I do not want to give ClickUp. I don't want to give cold corporate tech. I want to be like my biggest thing. And the devs actually, they didn't tussle with me, but they weren't a fan of my branding at first because they're so immersed in the tech space.
Right.
But me being strong-headed, I was like, no, we're doing it. And so I brought on a designer, Kiara, love her, Identity House, who she just like gets the vibe.
Yeah.
And we really collabed. I've always collaborated, and it's like a beautiful experience. But the main goal was I want tech space with sexy, feminine, sleek. Like I want it to be for our industry, and it's like where people are like, she gets the assignment. She understands. So I wanted that cool, like cunty, like, you know, vibes. I wanted sleek. And so that's Azura down to the name. I didn't want like communication, like, I don't know. I didn't want like ClickUp or Dipsado. Like I wanted something like that rolled off the tongue that felt feminine.
Yeah.
And I wanted like a little, still neutral. I'm a neutral girly, but I wanted that little pop of blue.
Yeah. I see the blue.
Feel fun, you know, and almost feel like a lifestyle brand, because I do want people to feel, I feel so passionate about Azura, and so I wanted people to feel amazing while not only using the app, but consuming the content. And yeah, so I just say like the main goal was combining and fusing together tech with sexy and sleek. And I don't think that was really done just yet or in our space. So it was really exciting.
Tell me a little bit about the app in terms of what's the problem that you're solving in the industry right now?
The biggest thing for sure was these apps weren't built for us. They weren't made for us. Yeah, they have functionalities that we can use and they're great, but it's not intuitive to the unique work that we do. So I not only brought my voice, but I brought in lawyers, designers, I brought in all different founders, and I said, you using these apps, like what feature are you like, oh my God, if it just had this, it would make my life so easy. And so the goal with Azura is elevated simplicity. And so a few things, branding. I know the importance of that. So Azura, you can make it look and feel and act like your own brand, down to the logo on the fave icon, the labels, colors, fonts. You can make the experience custom to you. And I think that is invaluable when you are delivering a service. Like, it's kind of like if you know, right? You put, again, so much process and love and TLC into your onboarding workflow, your visuals. It's like, why not, when you're actually hanging out in the app that you use the most, why not be in love with it? Yeah. And one feedback that is really validating is a lot of people are like, I catch myself just wanting to be on the app more because it's fun to see my logo and my branding. It feels like I'm on like a custom website of mine. So it's the experience and the feeling of being like having pride in how you're delivering your work. So that's a big one, is the aesthetics for sure. And then the features, you know, for me, when the groups, they're kikiing, they're popping off, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go through 208 messages to find the questions on Voxer. I was like, oh, you know, so I have a question box feature. I have, you can schedule your messages later. On the left sidebar, you know how many times clients are like, hey, where's the portal for the education, or where's the Dubsado portal? So you can have the portal button and they can click out. There's the calendar button so they can book. Websites, you know, announcement banners that are clickable.
Yep.
We have an announcement banner that's clickable. So you can make that fun. You can like add cute little messages. You can say, reminder, submit your homework, or if you're a photographer, your gallery's ready, click here. And we replicated Google Docs in a way, and Notion in the file section.
Yep.
And you can leave in the document voice message comments. And our lawyer, not our lawyer, but one of my clients, Nina, she's saying when she was going through
Nina
contract.
the lawyer.
Yes, love her. She's the best.
Amazing.
I know, love you, Nina, if you listen. But so she said, and this is again bringing in the founders that understand these, and that's also a unique selling factor of it, is the voices and the people that are making this app, like that's who's going to be using it, right? And I think that's so special, because usually it's in a tiny little huddle of like tech bros where they're like, let's make this, but they don't involve the actual users that are paying in their voice. So we did from the jump. And so you can leave voice message comments. Oh my God. And I can yap with my clients. So I'm like, I wish I had that for my masterminds, my private clients, because now you don't have to jump in. So we're a combination of like Slack, you can have different channels, Voxer, you have broadcast. You can automate messages out too.
Oh, wow.
There's so many. We're adding a lot of AI, like AI summaries.
Yeah.
So many things. And so it solves the problem of the gaps with features. It really adds the custom branding. It adds just a beautiful user experience. And I think it just puts your money where your mouth is too when you're providing these services. And so there's so many aspects. And yeah, I'm really proud of her. I love Azura. She's great.
I love that.
Yeah.
So obviously you've grown your app to so many users, to almost 1,700, you said, in the last
We just launched.
4 months?
We launched like official people got access February.
February.
Yeah.
Like,
And we're not even in the app store. So I was saying, if I didn't have emotional connection to Azura, the way I wouldn't be using the app because it's desktop. Yeah. Like she's great, she's cute, but I'm like an app girly. So in my mind, I'm like, who's the 1,700? Because I'm like, y'all are ambitious. But I'm not complaining, and it's completely organic. No ads yet.
Yeah.
We did
no paid ads.
No paid ads. Wow. I did it buyer psychology. I really leaned into expressive buyers, and I cultivated such an experience with the launch to make people feel those pain points. It's like it was shared frustrations. And in sales psychology, that's the common enemy. And so it's not a negative tone. It's like we are all feeling and experiencing this, and we want change, and Azura is that. And so we have over 100 affiliates, and they put in work. And so I brought them in, and then for the actual live launch, and I made, being a business mentor, I made a whole marketing hub. I've been in a lot of affiliate programs. Mm-hmm. And I made it cozy, comfy for them with templates, copy done, visuals, all the assets of the high-end videos we took, like, make it easy. Yeah. And they were like, thank you. Like, they have over 24 assets to play with for marketing. Wow. So that was it was like a snowball of expressive buyers, of people so proud of Azura as well. And they're like, I feel like I'm Azura's auntie. And like, I just want to shout to the world about Azura. And so it kind of, took the industry a little bit by a storm. And I think it also is a testament to listening to the people and creating something that is actually needed. Yeah. Organically, it's grown like crazy so far. It's exciting.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
Where do you see the future with this app?
Mm-hmm. I definitely see support is huge. That even my lawyer was like, what's your support team? Because it's a lot to keep up with, like questions, and we have Intercom, which is one of the best. Mm-hmm. The second we're in the app store, the way I'm running ads. I am running some ads, and I can't wait to see. And I'm really seeing my speaking career taking that off, but I'm just seeing it grow, right? I'm seeing a lot of fun marketing materials around, fun campaigns, shoots. It kind of feels like a fun, fresh, like activewear brand too, where you can really have fun with the shoots, the different models, the styles, and holiday seasons. Like it's very different because it's not me. It's not Natasha Zoryk Incorporated. It's not me giving my time. And so I just see it really taking off. Yet again, fun with the marketing. I see it replacing Voxer entirely and the Slack, right? And that's been the vision for it. And I see it evolving with features. We already have, like, we're going to add in a Zoom, our own Zoom.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like not an all-in-one, but it's like the main focus is communication. Mm-hmm. I just see it really taking over, and I see it being the solution for creatives, founders, entrepreneurs in our space.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm just curious though, like in terms of like your business and how you show up, has there ever been like any stereotypes around being pretty? You know, do you have, a better advantage because you have blonde hair and you're Caucasian and you have a lot of beautiful footage on Instagram? Like, does that ever, play out in the success that you are today?
Mm-hmm. I think it would be ignorant of me to say no. I think that would be very tone deaf to be like, no, not at all, right? I think it absolutely plays a factor in, success or just initial being perceived in a certain way. I've actually never dealt with like questions or being challenged on that personally. I've heard discussions around that for sure. I think too, no matter what, I think it really comes down to energy too, right? Like you can have that at the forefront, but it will only last so long. Like your clients will talk, people will feel and experience not only you and your energy, but your services. And so I think even if you got the looks, that can crash and burn, right? Reputation and rapport is everything. It is a big but a small space. And so, yeah, I think I lead with that. And that's down to like laughter is the backbone of my business and like client experience and like quality service. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a factor. Again, I think it would be ignorant to be like, nope, la, 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 la. But it will only get you so far. I'm so, so big on quality over quantity. I'm so big on providing a true intentional service and like the feel good factor in sales psychology, making people feel incredible and making that a ripple effect. Lead with love, lead with integrity. And so, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I think if you lead with that, you're going to see people burn out. You're going to see people not have a good reputation. You'll hear the horror stories of business coaching. I've heard some of that, right? Yeah, that's kind of my take on that.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
I completely understand what your perspective is. Like you can only be,
Yeah,
you know, leveraging your appearances for so long, but building that rapport and building that credibility and trust will get you further in your success.
And I think imposter syndrome can like severely come into play, even if it's pretty privilege, even if it's down to you're not proud or inspired with what you're putting out. I've seen this time and time again, or it's not authentically you, or you know that you're not actually passionate about this. Yeah, you'll just burn out. You'll feel like an imposter. You'll get crippled with doubt. So many things. So yeah, I just, I think it's so, so important to lead with like the internal.
And thank you so much for like, you know, sharing so much about your story and like learning about your tech company that you're building right now. What would one piece of advice that you would give to like your younger self who just started in the website designing and starting her business and quitting her job and going all in? Like, what advice would you give to her? Because I think that version of her in you was just like thinking like this, let's see what happens, you know, to where you are today. So
advice right away, I would say those audacious ideas that you have, even if people around you are saying, why are you trying to be an Instagram girl? You're gonna like crash and burn with this, or building websites on Wix and all that is illegal. Like you can't do that. Or I had a few weird, they thought it was illegal. Yeah, I'm like, girl, where? I had like some judgment, you know, I had a lot of doubts. I had a lot of people had this identity of me, right? And it was like completely blown up, and that can really cause inner turmoil within themselves. And so I think it would be your tunnel vision is not only your divine path, but like stick to that, because, you know, be audacious, like tune out. And this is for everyone listening, whether it's your partner, it's your friends, it's your freaking neighbor, it's your colleagues, or whatever it is. If they're judging you, just know that although it's maybe and potentially from love, it's ignorance. They're ignorant to your mission. They don't know the passion. They don't see your goals. They don't see the fire. They don't understand. So it's coming from a place of loving ignorance. And I really played that in my mind. And if it's cliche, but like truly, if they're not in a place that you aspire to be in, or like they really are coming from a place of wishful thinking or assuming what it could be because they haven't been there, take it with a grain of salt.
yeah.
Even if they hold so much importance in your life, even if their word in other topics means the most, it doesn't mean it has to mean a lot in that one. And so really, I like to call it entrepreneurial IQ, like tap into your critical thinking. Tap into the, okay, I hear you, respect it, but respectfully, no. I'm gonna keep pushing. Because there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, chatter, judgment when starting out. And you have to be your own North Star. You can't look at everyone else because you're going to end up living for everyone else. You're going to end up in all these different places. And yeah, I think the advice, and that was a few pieces, but and find good people. So when you do have in real life connections that are feeling like it's pulling you away from your dreams, resort to that. And that's what I would say.